Okay, so here we I think a very serious moment when Mrs. Keeney and her husband trying to, she is trying to convince him to come back and to, to stop this business of trying to stay for, to catch the whale and to fill the ship with oil when she says it's only ice and you can't do it. Anyway, so she's trying her best here, as you can see, when she was saying, we can't wait for that, I can't wait, I want to get home. And the men won't wait. They want to get home. It's cruel, it's brutal for you to keep them. And, she said, that. And of course, Mrs. Keeney, really she's serious to say this, not being wicked or anything. She really feels absolutely devastated and she wants to go back because she feels miserable and lonely and horrible and so on. And of course, Mr. Keeney, as we know, I said the main theme and idea in this play is, as I said, really determination and stubbornness and single-mindedness and power and the will, and no matter what, because that's the idea, which is, as I said, when you feel proud of yourself here as being a captain who never came back with the ship not full of oil, so he can't go back. This is his feeling. He said, I can't do it, And he's saying, I can't do it because of that, because of my pride in a way. Yeah, because of pride, and not because of his being in need of the money or anything. And she says to him, because it's stupid and stubborn reason, This is it for her. It's only really stubborn, absolutely stubbornness, and even she said stupid. Oh, I heard you talking with the second mate. You're afraid the other captains will sneer at you because you did not come back with a ship full of, oil or with a full ship. You want to live up to your silly reputation, even if you do not have to beat and starve men and drive them mad or drive me mad to do it. Yeah, well, again, this is, reputation. Yeah, really, reputation, because he's worried about his reputation. Yes, absolutely. That's the whole idea. He is worried about reputation and his name and his position. And this is, of course, determination. And this is, of course, to do with his own, could be, as she said, arrogance or stubbornness. Yeah, could be. So, Leah, can you hear me? And can you hear me, boys, and see me now?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, good. So really, this is the idea here, and Keeney, of course, will never change his mind. Notice Keeney, his jaw set stubbornly. He feels really, his jaw means he's really determined not to budge. It ain't that, Annie. Them skippers would never dare sneer to my face. He's saying, no. It's not that I'm worried about them because they couldn't dare even do it in front of me. It ain't so much what anyone would say, but, of course, really, that's the idea. He hesitates, struggling to express his meaning. You see, I've always done it since my first voyage as skipper. I always come back with a full ship, and it don't seem right not to somehow. I been always first whaling skipper out of home port, and don't you see my meaning, Annie? I think I see his meaning. I really see what he means. Exactly. But maybe he's saying, come on, I've never done it. I'm used to this. I'm always I have always, and I always came back with my ship full of oil. Do you understand that? I can't go back with my ship not full of oil. I can't. It's, you know, something inside me. You know, that's what he's trying to tell her. I said, I am always, you know, a first whaling captain. I'm the best captain in the whole town. How can I come back with my ship not full of oil? He glances at her. She's not looking at him, but staring dully in front of her, not hearing a word he is saying. Annie, she comes to herself with a start, but turn in, Annie. Turn in, Annie. There is a good woman. You ain't well. You know, he's trying to pacify her. I say, okay, calm down, my lovely wife, my lovely girl. You are okay. Come on. Quiet. And Keeney, of course, Mrs. Keeney said, resisting his attempt to guide her to the door and rear, David, won't you please come back? I can't, Annie. Not yet a while. You don't see my meaning. I get to get the aisle. Mrs. Keeney, it would be different if you needed the money, but you don't. You've got more than plenty. Keeney again, it ain't the money I'm thinking of. Do you think I am as mean as that? Mrs. Keeney again, trying, you know, she's trying all the time to convince him. No, I don't. I can't understand. Oh, I want to be home in the old house once more and see my own kitchen again and hear a woman's voice talking to me and be able to talk to her. 2 years, it seems so long ago, as if I'd been dead and could never go back. Keeney, worried by her strange tone and the faraway look in her eyes. Best go to bed, Annie. You ain't well. Mrs. Keeney again, you know, she's decided. I used to be lonely when you were away. I used to think Homeport was a stupid, monotonous place. Then I used to go down to the beach, on the beach, especially when it was windy, and the breakers were rolling in, and I would dream of the fine, free life you must be leading. She gives a laugh, which is half a sob. I used to love the sea then. She pauses, then continues with slow intensity. But now I don't ever want to see the sea again. Keeney again, thinking to humor her. It's no fit place for a woman, that's sure. I am a fool to bring you. Mrs. Keeney again, you know, after a pause, passing her hand over her eyes with a gesture of pathetic weariness. How long would it take us to reach home if we started now? Again, Keeney frowning. About 2 months, I reckon, Annie, with fair luck. Mrs. Keeney counts on her fingers, then murmurs with a rapt smile. That would be August, the latter part of August, wouldn't it? It was the 25th of August we were married, David, wasn't it? Keeney trying to conceal the fact that that her memories have moved him gruffly. Don't you remember? Mrs. Keeney again, vaguely, again passes her hand over her eyes. My memory is leaving me up here in the ice. It was so long ago. A pause, then she smiles dreamingly. It's just now the lilacs will be all in bloom in the front yard, and the climbing roses on the terrace of the side of the house. They are budding. She suddenly covers her face with her hands and commences to sob. You know, she starts crying. And Keeney disturbed. Go in and get rest, Annie. You are all wore out crying over what you can't be helped. You're trying you're trying your best, and you are, if you like, you're tiring yourself, and you'll not, we can't help it. And Mrs. Keeney, again, she wanted to try another way. Women are very good in doing these things. They know all the tricks. And Mrs. Keeney, she said, "You love me, don't you, David?" Keeney, in amazed embarrassment at his outburst, "Love you? Why do you ask me such a question, Annie?" Mrs. Keeney shaking him fiercely. "But you do, don't you, David? Tell me." "I'm your husband, Annie, and you are my wife. Could there be aught but love between us after all these years?" As I said, this is, Mrs. Keeney's way of convincing him. Say, "Yeah, you love me. Come on, kiss me," and so on. That's what she wants to say now. Look what she said. Mrs. Keeney shaking him again, still more fiercely. "Then you do love me, say it." Keeney, "I do, Annie." Mrs. Keeney gives a slight of relief. Her hands drop to her sides. Keeney regards her anxiously. She passes her hand across her eyes and murmurs half to herself, "I sometimes think we could only have had a child." Yeah. We could have had a child, You are a terrible man. I sometimes, that's what she's saying, and doing this, I sometimes think we could have had a child. We could only have had a child. Keeney turns away from her, deeply moved. She grabs his arm and turns him around to her face intensely. "And I've always been a good wife to you, haven't I, David?" Keeney, his voice betraying his emotion. "No man has ever had a better Annie. And I have never asked for much from you, have I, David? Have I? Have I, David? Have I? You could have all I got the power to give you, Annie." "Then do this for me. Do this once for my sake, for God's sake. Take me home. Take me home. It's killing me, this life, the brutality and cold and horror of it. I'm going mad. I can feel the threat in the air. I can bear the silence of threatening me, day after gray day, and every day the same. I can't bear it. I'll go mad. I know I will. Take me home, David, if you love me as you say. I'm afraid. For the love of God, take me home." She throws her arms around him, weeping against his shoulders. His face betrays the tremulous struggle going on with him. He holds her out at arm's length, his expression softening. For a moment, his shoulders sag. He becomes old. His iron spirit weakens as he looks at her tear-stained face. Keeney dragging out the words with an effort. "I will do it, Annie, for your sake, if you say it's needful for you." She's happy. Mrs. Keeney, with wild joy, kissing him. "God bless you for that, David. God bless you." She turns away from her. He turns away from her silently and walks toward the companionway. Just as that moment, there is a clatter of footsteps on the stairs, and the second maid enters the cabin. The mate. The ice is breaking up to the northward, sir. The ice is breaking up to the northward, sir. There is a clear passage through the floor and clear water beyond. And the lookout says, Keeney straightens himself like a man coming out of a trance. Mrs. Keeney looks at the mate with terrified eyes. Keeney dazedly trying to collect his thoughts. A clear passage! A clear passage to the northward? Yes, sir. His voice suddenly grim with determination. Then get her ready and we will drive her through. Aye, sir. And Mrs. Keeney, David! Keeney not heeding her. Will the men... Keeney, of course, he changed immediately. Will the men turn the whiling, or must we drag them out? Mate, they will turn to whiling enough, meaning to wailing enough. You put the fear of God into them, sir. They are meek as lambs. And Keeney, then drive them both watches with grim determination. Again, determination is being very tough. There is whale the other side of the floor, and we are going to get them. Yeah, there is, he said, yeah, I know, I'm sure. There are a lot of whales. I'm going to catch them all. And the mate, hey, sir. He goes out hurriedly. A moment later, there is the sound of the scuffling feet from the deck outside, and the mate's voice shouting orders. Keeney speaking aloud to herself derisively. Mr. Keeney was really very angry with himself. And I was going home like a yellow dog. Amr.
Yes, doctor.
How are you?
I'm fine, doctor. How are you?
What's this? I was going home like a yellow dog.
Like a yellow duck?
Yellow dog.
A yellow dog, like a mad person or a mad man.
Not just mad, no, not mad, means weak and miserable and terrible and weak and nothing.
Grace, doctor.
Like a wet dog.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you say this in Omani Arabic? الكلب اللي بيعوي.
No, doctor, I don't think so.
You don't say عواء الذئاب أو يعوي، والكلب اللي بيعوي يعني بس بيعوي ما يعمل شيء، يعوي. Do you say that? Do you use the word يعوي? No?
بس ينابح in Omani we say بس ينابح.
ينابح بس كده ينابح؟
ينابح.
ينابح لحظة. نابح means يعني he's strong. He wants to do something.
No. We say it for the man who just talks and do nothing. We say he just ينابح.
Yeah. In Syrian Arabic we say يعوي. يعني he the same like نابح, but it means really can't do anything. يعني نحن بنقول يعني بيعروش كمان. You say the word يعروش. Do you say يعروش?
No, that's not.
We don't use the term.
I want to teach you Arabic, Syrian Arabic. أي العامية عفوا، كلمة عامية وليست أصلية. العروشة, we say يعروش. كلب يعروش means just making noise, nothing. He can't do anything. And this is yeller dog. Yeller from yell. يعني you can't do anything, just making noises, right? So here he's accusing himself like being a weak dog. He said, I was a terrible man to listen to this terrible wife. She wanted me to go back and I was willing to go back. What a terrible man I am. What a man I am. I am like worse than a dog. Amir,
Yes, doctor.
we don't like that, do we?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And you know, really the idea here, it's funny that it shows that this man, really here it has other meanings. This man is a man, you know. He loves his wife. He loves his wife. And when she talked to him about a baby and a child and love and, you know, the wedding day and, you know, this, and to have a baby and so on, yeah, he is a man, you know, he's a human being with flesh and blood. And he loves her. He said, okay, I will go back. But then suddenly he woke up because she maybe, you know, dragged him, because there are in literature, there are many, many, many stories and many situations where women drive their men to terrible things. And the best example is, you know, Macbeth. You know Macbeth, the play by Shakespeare.
Yes.
Macbeth, Lady Macbeth made her husband, Lady Macbeth, the horrible wife, made her husband a criminal. She was always pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, you know, do this and do this and nag and nag, 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 nag. Ah, come on, wives. Stop it, wives. Basmala.
Yes, doctor.
No ahem ahem. No ahem ahem.
No.
You understand what I mean? No comments?
Yes.
No comments?
No, because you are right.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, Basmala. Yeah, that's good. You are, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are many cases when women really sometimes, and the play is something saying something like this. He said, I was stupid to listen to this. I will never do that. And Keeney, of course, was really, Mrs. Keeney was shocked. She said, David. And Keeney said, woman, you ain't doing right when you meddle in men's business and weaken them. Ya Hurma, يا هرمة، ها؟ لا تتدخل بشغل الرجال، أنت تضعفين الرجال وتدخلين. الله 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 الله. نعم. هلا صرت راجل يا حبيبي. ها؟ Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, he's saying, you women, stop interfering in our business, men's business. You don't understand men's business. Of course, I'm just making fun of him, but really, Keeney, Mr. Keeney is not this man. Mr. Keeney is a tough, strong man, but he weakened a little bit only when, you know, he wanted to do something for her. But then he just immediately woke up and he said, no, no, no. You are trying to weaken me. I'm not going to be weak. You can't know my feeling. I got to prove a man to be a good husband for you, to take pride in. Notice he's playing the same game. He said, yeah, I'm going to be the man you will be proud of. I know you. You women, you want me to be a strong man and you will be proud of me. Yeah. I got to get the aisle, I tell you. Oh, wow, bravo. Bravo, Mr. Keeney. Yes, tell her. And Mrs. Keeney, of course, is really very angry. David, aren't you going home? Keeney, you ain't well. Go and lay down a minute. You know, he starts to the floor, to the door. I got to get on deck. He goes out, he cries after him, she cries after him in anguish, David! You know, she wants always to shout at him, you know. A pause, again, she passes her hand across her eyes. I think this this, I don't know if I think there's maybe this should be on the second line here. I think this should be like this. I don't know, I will double check. It should be like that. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'll double check this. Anyway, and Mrs. Of course, Mr. Keeney, you know, decided always, woman, you foolish, what foolish mocking is this? She laughs wildly and he starts back from her in alarm. Annie, what is it? She doesn't answer him. Keeney's voice trembles. Don't you know me? Annie! He puts both hands on her shoulders and turns her around so that he can look into her eyes. She stares up at him and a stupid expression, a vague smile on her lips. He stumbles away from her and she commences softly to play the organ again. And Keeney again, swallowing hard in a hoarse whisper, as if he had difficulty in speaking. You said you was a going mad, God. A long wail is heard from the deck above. Ahoo! You know, shouting. A moment later, the maid's face appears through the sky light. He comes in. He can't see Mrs. Keeney. And mate in great excitement, well, sir, a whole school of them off these starboard quarter, about 5 miles away, big ones. Keeney galvanized and into action. Are you lowering the boats? Yes, sir. Keeney with grim decision. I'm coming with you. Mate, aye, sir. You will get the aisle now, right enough, sir. Keeney, Annie, did you hear him? I will get the aisle. She does not answer or seem to know he is there. He gives a hard laugh. Which is almost a groan. I know you are fooling me, Annie. You ain't out of your mind. Anxiously be you. I'll get the aisle right now. I will get the aisle now, right enough. Just a little while longer, Annie. Then we will turn homeward. I can't turn back now. You see that, don't you? I've got to get the aisle. Answer me, you ain't man, be you. She keeps on playing the organ, but makes no reply. The mate's face appears again through the skylight. And mate, already, sir. Keeney turns his back on his wife and strides to the doorway, where he stands for a moment and looks back at her in anguish, fighting to control his feelings. Mate, coming, sir. Keeney, his face suddenly grown hard with determination. Hey! He turns abruptly and goes out. Mrs. Keeney does not appear to notice his departure. Her whole attention seems centered in the organ. She sits with half-closed eyes, her body swaying a little from side to side to the rhythm of the hymn. Her fingers move faster and faster, and she's playing wildly and discordantly as the curtain falls. Wow. Finished. Yeah. Basmala, do you think she went mad here? Do you believe her?
Yeah, but she deserved that.
But do you really think she's mad?
Maybe
Or
because I don't think she is like him, because she always, for example, as she said that she always liked to talk with other women. She liked to go to hang out and like that. So if she only see water and sea and chips, that's really difficult, I think. But why she go with him? She deserves that.
no, because she,
It's a man's business. Why she went with him?
yeah.
I know she feel loneliness, but she can go, for example, with her family, with another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you, I mean, I don't think she went mad here, because people don't go mad like this out of the blue suddenly, you know, in a clutch like this. Maybe she is really mad and angry, yeah, but not completely, because she really wanted to show him that she is really angry, and she wanted to, you know, make him, you know, sure. I am absolutely sure that she's not mad, but she's saying this to her husband, and later on, maybe after an hour or so, she will be fine, and she will forgive her husband, and she will be proud of him, as he said. I mean, maybe I say this because I am a man, I don't know. Do you agree with me, boys? You know, we think women can change their minds quickly,
Definitely, yeah.
maybe, and maybe she will forgive him because he has done nothing really terrible and wrong. She would forgive him and say, yeah, yeah, you are my man, I believe you. Now you are my lovely man, I believe you. You are my hero. Yeah, 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 I was maybe wrong. Yeah. I don't
It is
know.
easy to convince a woman, unlike men.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, that's true.
Yeah, sweet talk and soft words, that's really
Wallahi, I agree with you. Wallahi, I agree with you. Yeah. Yeah, women are, you know, I think easier to be convinced and to change their minds, and I think they are more gentle, I think, and more convincing than many men. Yeah, I agree with you totally. There are stubborn women though. There are stubborn women though, but not many of them. And that's why those women, they call them iron ladies. Iron ladies. But you see, here really, this situation, I don't think Mrs. Keeney went mad. She is angry now, yes, and she's crying, yes, and her heart is broken, yes, but it can be fixed. You know, he can fix it. You know, and another day or 2 or 3 days, when she sees the ship full of oil, she will be happy. I'm sure she will be, because her husband is not doing something bad to her. He's doing something good for the good of everybody, for the good of everybody. So that's why she will say, yeah, maybe yes. So yeah, I think this is, I think the idea, I think this is nice to see at the end. And really, it's a lovely play here. Of course, you can see a lot of reasons and a lot of arguments. We can talk about it a lot about that, how, you know, the reaction and the relationship between man and wife, and the ways and so on, how maybe things can be changed, or the interference of things can sometimes affect or change people's ideas or attitudes or positions and so on. So yeah, really, this is the idea I want to say here. If you have any question, I will be happy to answer. And that's it really about the play. Next time, next week, week 11, next week I will start reading the play Oedipus the King. Please start reading the play Oedipus the King for next time, because our exam will be. Do you want it Monday or Wednesday, week 12? Monday or Wednesday, week 12?
Wednesday, Doctor.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, Doctor.
Okay, so week not next week, week 12, Wednesday. Week 12, Wednesday is our second exam for 20 marks. And next week, I will give you, next Monday, I will give you the parts from the poetry section, which you will be asked about in the exam. I will specify the material which will be included in our next exam. I will give you that next Monday. Remind me to tell you this, okay?
Okay, Doctor.
Right. In that case, I will stop recording, and I